So, guys, today we are going to react to the video Self Improvement is Killing Gen Z.
About some of the things I've learned along the way. I do think it's cool that despite that, many people have found my videos helpful in their personal lives. I think we're all at that age where everyone is trying to become a better version of themselves. Especially when you look at the world around you, it feels like a lot of things are out of our control. But the one thing you can control is yourself. So while you may not be able to make the world better overnight, the simple solution is to start by bettering yourself. Everyone wants to make a change, whether that be getting in shape, reinventing your wardrobe, trying to find a partner, making more money, or even finally deciding to chase your dreams. Working on yourself is something everyone should do. But unfortunately, like a lot of things, it gets a lot more complicated than that when it comes to our generation. I don't really think this is a secret to anyone, but there is a very toxic side of self-improvement culture for young people, especially for young men. I think it's easy to laugh at some of the more ridiculous examples out there, but under the surface, I do think a lot of us are
I think most of the people who are like the self improvement gurus actually don't care about self improvement. Their biggest drive is just selling their courses, and most of their courses is just regurgitated material from the internet, something that you can just get from a Google search. And that thing alone, and it's almost each and every single one of them is just talking about the same thing, and it's so repetitive and annoying at this point.
deeply hurting on an emotional level. Feeling like you're not good enough is something I've talked about a lot on this channel, and it's a feeling many of us can relate to. A lot of people feel like they're falling behind in the various areas of life, professionally, social.
Yeah, I am literally the person. I'm an example of the person he is describing here. We are all just trying to improve ourselves and make our lives better and face our insecurities. Yeah, it's just part of life.
And even physically. And when that pressure starts to get to you, inadequacy can start to turn into insecurity, which is why I think it's important to understand that when it comes to self improvement, there's a big difference between self love versus self hate. And sadly, a lot of young people hate themselves. You might hate the way you look, or maybe hate the situation you're
Yeah, like me here. You see this nose? It's a big nose. I don't like how big my nose is. Yeah, that's an insecurity that I have. Also, my lips, they're big. I don't like how big my lips are. But I just kind of have learned to accept myself the way I am. Deep down, if I had the power to change, I'll probably do it. But for now, yeah, let me just accept myself because there is nothing I can do for now.
currently in. You want to make a change not because you love yourself and think you deserve better, but because you hate who you are and you want that part of you to die. But I just don't think that's healthy. Self improvement is self care, not self sacrifice. Growth does require discomfort, but you shouldn't be actively harming yourself as a part of the process. Hey, bro, have you seen my hammer? I need to.
According to statistics, yeah, people are more likely to treat you better if you're attractive. So the motivation to do better, to look better, is very strong here. The incentive cannot be denied. Yeah. People want to look better. They want to be treated better. People want respect. And being treated better is respect. Yeah, people are just looking for self-respect. They're just looking for respect from other people. And if they can figure out something that gives them respect, yeah, they'll just go for it. Yeah, the looks maxing thing. I just know he's about to go on that. Yeah, looks like a looks maxing joke.
I can't tell if you need some help or some privacy. Bro, I'm just bone smashing to improve my facial structure. A guy on TikTok said my cheekbones are too feminine to attract women. There are a lot of things about you that repel women, but I don't think your cheekbones are it. Don't be mad at me because you're not disciplined enough for looks, Max. You can keep being a sub-6 chud and get mogged. First of all, I'm at least a 6.5. Second, I need my hammer back. Fine.
And this thing about the height. In normal society, like example, I think the average height in Kenya, my country, is 5'8". There are so many people who are less than 6 foot tall. Yeah, I've not Googled that, maybe. Yeah, I'll check it out later. The average height is 5'8". And dude, we people still smash, okay? People still smash. I'm 5'9", okay? People still smash out here, okay? So it doesn't matter. So sometimes I think the height, it doesn't matter as long as you're just, yeah, taller than the average woman. In my opinion, here in Kenya, I'm basing my assumption as a Kenyan.
I'll start my joke maxing routine until you're done. You're what? So basically, I take my hand and put it around my, you know what? I'm good. The problem with self-hate is that eventually you start projecting that hate onto the world and the people around you. And this makes you vulnerable to bad actors who want to take advantage of you. Self-improvement scams have been around since they were selling people snake oil in the 1800s.
This thing has made me I love the internet, that the information is easily accessible nowadays, but there's a whole different side of disadvantages when it comes to this. If you're a person who is entering like you, it's the first time you're discovering something new on the internet and you start googling it. Maybe you self improvement, or maybe you want to buy something you have never bought before. You are more likely to come across scammers, because scammers are looking for people who don't know much about this. And that's the biggest fear about the internet. Scammers, yeah, taking advantage of your vulnerability. Yeah.
It's just now, instead of snake oil, it's an online course. Millennials had Ty Lopez in his garage with that new Lamborghini, and now Gen Z is being brainwashed by TikTok larpers telling you to drop out of college and start drop shipping. The world feels a little extra bitter these days because we're realizing.
No, from a third world country perspective, we don't do drop shipping around here, okay? Yeah, we don't know what drop shipping actually is. If you ask a Kenyan what's drop shipping, we have no, and we need to work on ourselves. Anyway, it is what it is, man.
A lot of the traditional paths aren't really getting us anywhere. So a lot of people want to take advantage of that frustration and use it to get you to buy what they're selling as a solution. I remember when I was in college, there was this thing called Forex, and nearly everybody I knew was trying to get me to join. And
Forex is not a get rich quick scheme. One thing I've realized about this world, if something is being told to you that it's easy and it's going to make you rich, they're lying to you. Nothing is easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Yeah, there is some form of sacrifice, luck, or it being hard that's involved that these people are not telling you. Forex, I don't know the statistics, but I'm sure like 90, no, I'm not sure. I don't know the statistics, but I think like maybe over 90% of people who trade Forex are losers. I am certain to some level, to some degree, that's the statistics without even checking it.
they give you the same pitch every single time. Hey, bro, you should sign up for Forex with me. I'm going to be making so much money. You're gonna be making so much money? Well, yeah, I haven't started it yet, but I just paid this guy $200 to sign up.
And if the person who is telling you he's going to sell you, like he's going to sell you the signals for Forex or whatever the hell they're going to sell you to, the courses, whatever. Why are they not using that to get rich? Why do they have to come to you? That's the first red flag you should be seeing.
If I get two other people to sign up for $200, I make my $200 back and get $200 profit. Wait, so you paid some guy $200 just to sign up? Well, yeah, but you get added to a group chat and get to learn all the secrets of currency trading. Okay, so how much money have they made? Well, I don't know, but they say they've made a lot, and they've made this money from trading. Well, trading and signing other people up. So let me get this straight. You pay
These people are becoming rich off of your selling you courses. That's what is making them money. They don't know how to trade themselves. If they knew how to trade, listen, there are people out there who know how to trade, and you'll probably never hear from them on the internet. They're just out there making their money and living their own lives. If someone is coming to you all the time, preaching and and shoving all their courses on your face all the time to buy them, that's a huge red flag right there.
guy $200 to sign up. Then you recruit two other people who pay you $200 to sign up. And then they recruit two more people each.
Yeah, looks more like a pyramid scheme. Yep, looks more like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, that's a pyramid scheme. No, they said it's called building a network. Don't you know anything about business? I think I'll pass for now. I think young men are especially vulnerable to this. And I think it's the real reason why a lot of toxic ideology is starting to become a lot more popular with young men. Many guys feel like they're falling behind in the world, like their lives don't matter. Jobs don't need you, women don't need you, the world doesn't need you. And a lot of these people on the internet are really good at telling young men exactly what they want to hear. A lot of men feel under attack and are looking for any relief from the hostility. Someone to say that they see us trying and that they respect us. Traditionally, men gain respect by earning money, supporting their families, and being leaders. But for our generation, where it's hard for young people to find careers, it's hard to support yourself, let alone a family, and where older generations refuse to give young people a chance to lead, men feel devalued and lost. People often talk about an us versus them mentality being something dividing our generation, but for men, it often feels more like me versus everybody. So men are led down paths where we reject community and see ourselves as being at war with the world and everyone else in it. I've noticed that a lot of Gen Z guys genuinely believe that you have to give up your life just to date or get married. There's this.
Guys, just go talk to women. Put yourself. I think the best way to learn something is to face it. Like, I'm not an expert, okay? I'm just saying what I think is possible. Just go out there, put yourself out there, create a situation where you'll be around these people and you're probably going to talk to them, and probably you're going to, if it's women, you're going to date them. Yeah.
Jaded view that other people are problems to be solved instead of allies against the same struggle. So we end up losing the plot and take the self out of self-improvement. I've spoken before about how some people will take the message of self-improvement and use it to pick at your insecurities. They make you question yourself so that you look to.
This is how people get rich off of the internet. They are preying on your insecurity by selling you products that maybe causes whatever the hell they're selling you, or they are taking advantage of your horniness. Yeah, or basically they're just tapping into these emotions: horniness, insecurities. And believe me, if you play the cards well around those types of emotions, around those two emotions, you're going to get very rich off of the internet. Of course, not everyone can pull it off, but yeah, there's a good amount of people who have managed to pull it off.
Them for the answer, creating a problem so that you buy their solution. It's like when you take your car to the shop for an oil change and the mechanic tells you there's something wrong with your engine too. But the truth is that these are almost never the solution you're really looking for. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Nice, bro. Good set. You're gonna be swole in no time. Yeah. Maybe once I'm jacked, the ladies will finally want me. What? Nah, bro, you got it all wrong. Huh? But on Trad and Chad, they said girls only like guys with big muscles. Nah, bro. Everyone knows that you don't lift weights to impress girls. You lift weights to impress other dudes. Hey, man.
Dude, you lift weight so that you can become fit.
Nice muscles. Thanks, bro. Hey, I'm trying to get like you. Wait, so girls don't actually like super ripped dudes? Yeah, bro. You gotta.
I just think that, see those muscular dudes that you see with big muscles, like those muscular dudes, most of the time they're impressing other dudes, not women, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, dude, you've never seen a skinny guy with hot chicks. There are so many of them. Skinny guys who have probably never been to the gym with chicks just because of their personality or whatever. They have a personality and they know how to talk to women, yeah, and they put themselves in an environment where there are women. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, it's good to go to the gym, but just know those muscles alone are not going to get you women. Yeah, you need to go out there and find something else that's going to make women want to talk to you. I don't think I'm qualified to talk about this, but that's just my opinion.
Understand the female gaze. Female gaze? I thought they were called lesbians. Different kind of gaze, bro. Something not a lot of people talk about when it comes to self improvement is the importance of identity. A lot of people not only have a vision for where they want to be in life, but also who they want to become. Self improvement, in many ways, is not just an exercise in discipline and commitment, but also self actualization. And it's another reason why LARPing has gotten so popular. A lot of people's goal isn't just to be better in a specific area, but to also achieve a certain lifestyle. This is why you have older dudes calling 20-year-olds big bro. Like, dude, you're 27, cut it out. And this is kind of the issue with self-improvement content, because it turns the act of bettering yourself into a performance rather than a genuine effort. So now there's people who put more energy into pretending to be a grinder than actually grinding. The truth is that
I believe the real grinders are not even on the internet. They're just doing it behind the scenes, and you will never hear from them because they are not doing it in show. Yeah, trying to show you on the internet all the time. Look at me, I'm grinding, I'm working hard. No, they don't have time for that. They are just busy doing their own thing, and they are not trying to show off to anyone.
the people who really are living the lifestyle probably aren't putting it on the internet. Self improvement isn't about what you have, it's who you are. Self improvement requires self awareness. It's important to have a vision for the future, but you also have to have a plan on how you're going to get there, too. Heard you've been on your grind lately, bro. How's that going? Yeah, I'm trying to level up in life. Oh, really? How so? So basically, I want to get a BMW M4, then I want to get a six pack, then I want to date a model, and then I'm going to buy a house in the hills. Wow, those.
And also, one thing about the internet, only extreme stuff gets attention. Normal does not get attention most of the time. So you just find people who are doing things that are way beyond normal appearing on your feed. And then you think everyone is like that. No, 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 no. The internet is not real life. Yeah.
Some big dreams. How long do you think it's going to take? Like a year, maybe? A year? Maybe like 14 months? Okay. Have you set any tangible, measurable goals to hold yourself accountable? Or is all you want to do is LARP? Goals? Yeah, like you want a BMW. How are you going to get it? Easy. I'm going to be making 100K a month. Doing what? Drop shipping, of course. Do you know anything about drop shipping? Nah, but I have like 20 TikToks bookmarked about it. So you have no goals, skills, education, or resources. And all of this is just supposed to work out. You know, bro, I kind of feel like you're hating. They said this will happen in the course. What course? The Lifestyle and Revenue Program. It's
This starts to feel like a cult. This is a cult. Definitely a cult.
200 a month. Lifestyle and Revenue Program. You bought a LARP course? Well, bro, you're getting scammed. You need to cancel that. But they said they can give me a new Beamer in just 6 months. The thing about self improvement is that a lot of it is just the same stuff your mom told you growing up. Make your bed, eat vegetables, read. But because some bald guy on the internet told you to do it,
I always think that people are just trying to look for easier ways to do things. I think everyone knows the answer to all these things. It's like studying. If you go to school right now and look at people who are actually studying all the time, you find that most people know that for you to pass your exams, you have to study. But most people don't study all the time. Why? Because they don't like doing it. People like to look for shortcuts. So I think these internet gurus are probably offering a shortcut, so something that seems pleasing, like a shortcut solution to the problems. But in reality, you have to work hard. It's not easy. Nothing comes on a silver platter. You have to go, unless you get lucky. Very few get lucky. Not everyone gets lucky. You have to go out there and put in the work.
you finally listen. There is no real reward when it comes to self improvement. And if you cheated, the only person who loses is you. Someone once told me that you don't climb mountains so people can see you at the top. You climb mountains so you can look out and enjoy the view. If you want to make any improvement in your life, the first step is setting some goals and finding out the best way to accomplish them. I used to be a swim instructor, and I once had a student named Gabby who on day one was afraid to even get into the pool. She was convinced that she'd never learn how to swim, but nobody learns how to swim on day one. So I told Gabby the first thing she needed to do was to not be afraid to put her head underwater. Because like Gabby, when trying something new, I think a lot of us can be afraid to put.
Yeah, I think all this just comes to planning long term and not thinking about short term solutions. Long-term solutions kind of work better because learning a skill and providing value to the world, it's not going to work overnight. You need to put in the work, of course.
Our heads underwater too. But doing that is the first step to learning how to swim. And each day I had Gabby in my class, we had a new goal. But after 6 weeks of swim lessons, I taught Gabby how to swim. Did she throw up in the pool several times? Yes. But we overcame that challenge together with a lot of chlorine. Many people seem to assume self-improvement has to be a solo journey. But in practice, people are a lot more successful when they have a community to support them. Self-improvement is ultimately an act of self-care. Learning to accept yourself and love yourself. It's not about how much money you have, what car you drive, or how big your muscles are. Be a better person. That's the goal.
Guys, subscribe.